We can go ahead and get started a few seconds early. Our auditor ought to be in a moment. If you'll stand with me, and we'll begin with a prayer and a pledge of allegiance. Got our recorder running?
I'm working on it.
Let's give Jimmy just a second. We've got a new recording device here. All right. Dear Heavenly Father, we come before you this morning to give you thanks for the rain, for the mild summer, for the green trees and grass, Lord, for how you blessed our community. We gather today. It's a privilege to be here, Lord, to represent the people of Titus County. I pray that you would grant us wisdom in all decisions that are made. Preside over our meeting. Lord, guide and direct the conversation as you would have it to go, and may we arrive at decisions and conclusions that are in accordance with your will. We pray for our first responders, for our law enforcement, for those that provide medical assistance, for our servicemen and women wherever they may be. We pray for the community of Charlottesville as they heal after the tragedy of this weekend. Lord, we just pray for our nation, for our state, for our leadership, those that are in charge. We pray for our president, his cabinet, those that serve this country in Washington. We just pray, Father, that you would grant them this just unbelievable amount of wisdom that is needed to run this country. We pray for the situation that is brewing in North Korea, Lord, that you would keep that silence, Father, that we would not have to enter into a war. We turn this meeting over to you now. In Christ's name, amen.
Amen.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. All right, welcome everyone. This is our first meeting of the month of August. It's about midway through, but we're just having our first meeting. It is the 14th day of August, 2017, 9 o'clock in the morning. We'll begin with item 1, which is public comments, requests for information on non-agenda items in accordance with our Open Meetings Act. I don't have any requests to speak. Is there anyone that would like to address the court at this time? Looks like the sheriff would.
I just want to say, you guys give me an update on, y'all remember here, about a month ago, a little over, when y'all approved for us to use a car out on the interstate to help rebuild the old fences and stuff. Well, it ended a little quicker than we thought it would, but still, it's getting up there. Even after all the gas was spent, the county actually profited and made a little over $6,100 off of that. And I told you to quit just for using the car, so I appreciate you guys. Our guys got to make a little money. We're working for security. The county also made a little money on that too, just for use of the car. So a little over $6,000 is what you guys we put back in the budget for that, and so it was worth it. Nobody got hurt, everybody was safe, and so I just want to say thank you guys for approving that. It's done. We're finished with it.
Glad we had that opportunity. Anyone else? Item number 2, consider and possibly approve the minutes from our July 24 meeting, last meeting of the month of July.
Make a motion we approve the minute.
Motion is made by Commissioner Parker to approve those minutes.
Second.
Second from Commissioner Fields. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Is that a unanimous on that?
Second, yeah.
All right, item number 3 is consider and possibly approve a donation from Walmart to the Constable's office in the amount of $2,500, and Constable Durant is here. Tell us about this opportunity.
It's from Pilgrim's Pride, it's not from Walmart. They are generous to offer to donate $2,500 to both constable offices to put patrol rifles in vehicles, accessories, cases, and whatnot. So that's for y'all.
It's a fixed amount of $2,500 or up to $2,500?
It's a fixed amount.
Okay, it's Pilgrim's Pride, not Walmart. Where did I get Walmart? I dreamed it up?
Walmart.
No, it must be your fault, Chris.
Yeah, I think
Okay.
Wait a minute. What are we going to do for them?
We have to approve receiving a donation from Pilgrim's Pride And they've earmarked it specifically for both constables' offices?
Be for 4 patrol rifles installed into each patrol car.
Wait a minute. I don't
They currently
understand.
have a patrol rifle in vehicles.
We're gonna furnish them a patrol, and they're gonna make
They're
a,
going to donate us $2,500, and we're going to purchase patrol rifles to put in the patrol car.
We're not doing anything for them other than
Okay.
taking their money.
patrol drive, what do you call it?
Rifles.
Rifles, patrol rifles.
Oh, pistol, gun.
Guns, yes.
Sorry. Hearing aid is working.
Have you got racks in there for those?
No, that'll be part of the accessories that'll go.
Okay.
And the rifle will be in and out of the car, they won't be let in the vehicles overnight, so they'll be secured here tonight.
Okay. All right.
Sorry.
Well, that's nice of them to do that. 4 rifles and mounts for the constable vehicles. So we need a motion to approve the receipt of that donation.
Make a motion to approve.
Motion is made by Commissioner Applewhite
Second.
and second by Commissioner Parker. All in favor of approving that, say aye.
Aye.
And let's see, Chris, while you're there, tell us about your request here to approve Kenneth Schmitt as a reserve deputy constable for your precinct.
Kenny had approached me some time back, it's probably been 2 or 3 months ago, about expressing interest in becoming a reserve constable. He had been out of law enforcement for more than 6 months, so it took a little bit. He had to have some, at his own expense, he had to have a medical evaluation, psychological, and we had to do some other background stuff. But he's an experienced officer, worked for the sheriff's department for roughly 2.5 years. I think Tim can vouch that he's a good officer. He's been an asset to my department, to the county. He's a certified canine officer, and he does have his own canine. He's currently getting the dog certified as a tracking dog. I don't believe we have one in the area. So Kenneth works full-time at one of the trade manufacturers as an outside sales representative. He's on the road for sometimes he's home for a week or more. And he's expressed an interest to be able to come out when he's home. He's subject to call with him and his dog. They're both certified through the state, I believe nationally also, as drug dogs.
What additional hardware is going to be needed for him?
Nothing right now.
Okay.
Probably a couple of shirts, and a couple of pants.
Okay.
He's on his way as
Okay.
far as for his dog for sale, because I asked him about a ballistic vest. He said he had his own. So basically, it's very good for $100 for him.
Okay. All right. Well, do we need to formally notify TAC, Christie, for insurance coverage, comp insurance on him? Okay. Okay. All right. Do you have any questions for the constable here about his request to approve a deputy constable, Kenneth Schmitt? If not, I'll entertain a motion when you're ready.
Only thing I would say is I really appreciate these reserve deputies. They are a great asset to this county.
I was counting up for the meeting. 23 that I have now. They did work for the county. Roughly 450 hours. They contribute a lot. It was backup other units, patrol units, helping even for serving. This man wants the accent. Takes a bunch of us. Do a really good job.
And our female reserve assists in making mental health deliveries occasionally when necessary with with female patients. Sometimes she'll do those at less than ideal hours of the day and night. All right.
I make a motion, we approve this reserve deputy.
All right. Commissioner Parker makes the motion to approve. Second by Commissioner Applewhite. All those in favor of approving this position for Kenneth Schmitt as Reserve Deputy Constable, say aye. Aye. Opposed? There are none. Item number 5, we'll continue to look at these various items here that need some repair and maintenance, construction. Commissioner Riddle, do you have any updates on any of these items, A through E?
Yes, sir. Starting with the west wall of the annex, the guy that stucco give us the bid on it. He hasn't submitted it. Jones said he's supposed to do it today, the cost of replacing the facing on it. But I would like to move the electric stuff, if I could, off of that wall before we stucco, and I don't have a bid or cost, but Eubanks Electric is one guy, and then Jones said he knew another guy that might give me a bid to see what it would take to bury those wires and get them around. Most of them, a new meter and stuff goes to the adult probation, so hopefully we could move it around and get it off of that wall, all the electric, those meters and so forth. If it's not too, the cost is, I don't know what it would be. The other thing is that wall.
Let me interrupt you for just a second. On that particular subject, as part of the work that they did for the new tenant in the corner, they did do some cleanup.
On this end.
Is there still some additional wiring moving that you'd like to do?
On the very end of the building, on the south end of where the election machines are, the machine.
Okay, in that storage room.
Right.
Way on down there.
Right, on the end, there's a lot of them, it's not even, some of them are dead.
Yeah,
I'm certain
I
that they're
agree.
dead, but some of them go into the adult probation, a brand new one, and I don't know what it would cost to put that underground and go over there, but maybe we could clean that whole wall off. I'd like to get the price and see if we could. I think it'd look a lot better. But I haven't done anything. Eubanks said he would give me a ballpark figure, and he hasn't yet.
Okay.
That ivy that's on the back of that wall, that guy that's the stucco guy that come by, he says you really need to get that off of there. That's damaged, that surface, that wall off of there. And it's growing pretty good with all the rain we've had, but we could get the maintenance guy and
Trim it back or remove it
he
completely?
said remove it off the wall. Don't let it get on that wall.
Well, you know, we specifically planted it there. We specifically put that wire mesh there so that it would grow. It's not designed to grow on the wall, but it may be attaching itself to the wall. But he thinks we'd be better off without having it there.
And somebody, one of those other contractors told me, one of them said, you don't need to let that grow on that wall. It might have been Jones. I'm not sure. Someone else told me. 2 people said that to me. So I don't think it'd be hard to remove it if the landscape company or David or whatever can do it. And the water leak at the ag building, they're doing that this week.
What about the
Hefner.
north courthouse entrance?
Jones supposed to give us a bid today. Well, wait a minute. He's got a company that seals it up and is supposed to give him the bid today. I don't know what it would take.
That would keep us from having to demolish those steps?
Right. Well, I guess all I've asked for is just to seal it, to stop the water from leaking down. And then we go from there. I don't think I think you looked at it, and Jones, I think when he bored the holes and seen how thick it was, I think he maybe don't think we need to demolish anything either. Just need to repair it, stop the leak.
I don't personally see anything there that warrants any major work. I see that rebars exposed from the underside, but I think that was just a, a concrete pour that didn't provide enough coverage around that rebar, but I don't think it's a structural issue. I think it'll last as long as this exterior of this courthouse lasts, but we can certainly hear what the expert has to say about sealing that, if it would help that.
He did bore it.
Yeah, it is like, he thinks it's pretty strong too. I think after boring those holes, he agrees that it's not a danger or anything else. Just get the water from going through it. That's the thing that would, and that's the only thing that I'm asking for bids on, is just to seal it, to put a
Is that sealing it on the top or on the underside?
on the top.
Top.
And seal it like they do.
Does Richard think it's the water on the top is going all the way through it, or is it coming around, or?
It's coming. You can go there. I think it's. I don't know that. It may be,
I
it's,
can't tell. I don't
well,
know.
some of it's coming down, but some of it's going underneath that surface that's there, the where they had sealed it once before. Some of it's getting under there, under that, and then some of it coming down. It was leaking the other day when it rained and down there, and I thought it was coming from up against the wall of the building.
Where the stairs meet the building, maybe?
No, where the porch meets the building, up by the doors.
That's what I meant, where the porch meets the door, where that expansion joint is.
That's where it, I don't know where it was coming from, but it appeared that it could be coming from there, and I know that stuff is not very good. I mean, it's busted up, and it's really deteriorated in the last few months. I don't know what would make it fall apart all of a sudden within a year, but anyway, it has. And then the extension roof, Hefner's supposed to start to work about Thursday on it. He may have to work Thursday, Friday, and Saturday to get that done. We had another bid for $2,800, and his was $2,400. Last meeting, I believe you gave me authority to agree to that price.
What about the north annex doors?
The annex door, I got a bid from Taylor Glass about, well, I've got it here, and Brown Glass supposed to give me one. Called a couple of times, they haven't given me one. It's about $5,200 to change those doors on the annex. I must not have put it in here. Taylor Glass, to put a door in the middle so it move the doors so it goes to the next door. Pretty expensive.
Just to be clear, right now you've got two doors. The first set of doors are on the sides, and then it flows into one centralized pair of doors.
Right.
You're proposing eliminating the two doors that are on the outsides and going to one central door?
Right, because of the handicap situation. If you watch somebody with a wheelchair and he goes in that side door, he can't hold the door open while he gets to that middle door. This is pretty bad. I mean, he's got to have some help. If a guy's got a wheelchair, he can't get through that wall. And
Will this enable him to do it without help?
That's what they're telling me, the experts. I'm not.
Okay.
It's just a straight shot in
When he opens that door, he can cut the door open.
So we're basically replacing that entire exterior row of glass.
Yeah.
And you're moving, the fixed portions will be on the outside, and the two openers will be
Right.
side by side to
That's-
match the next pair of doors.
That's what we asked him for the bid.
Okay.
That next one is one big door, this is big door.
Yeah, it's a big door.
Two doors.
I meant two doors.
I mean, it's like
Right.
two side by sides.
Right.
But it's a straight shot down in there. And
That's
agree
it.
with you. I don't know how they get a wheelchair in and out. Somebody has to move the wheelchair over to go out. It's kind of a crazy angle.
Okay, well, do you want us to give you authority to move forward on that once you receive your other bid?
I'd like to get the other bid and get somebody else. This guy apparently did put that glass in there and put the glass where the tax office used to be. And I didn't talk to him, David did, but we'd like to talk to this Brown guy again.
Brown, okay.
I think it was a Milam.
Yeah,
Parker,
I don't think they're still in business, are they?
No.
No, and this is a guy that worked for him, Parker, not Parker, Taylor Glass.
Okay. And that's who you have a bid from?
Right.
Okay. So you'd like a authority to go ahead and authorize the work based on who you determine to be the best bid and best capable of doing the job?
Yeah, I'd like to get somebody else,
Okay.
if we could, and I don't know if there's somebody else that might do it. And on the ceiling, can I get back to that? Jimmy, you remember the name of that outfit you knew in Dallas where the woman was the boss that did the ceiling on the parking lot?
I'll have to look, Al, and get I think I've still got her card at my office. I'll look
If not,
and
I
see.
probably do, and if we
Yeah.
can't find it, we'll get Christie to look up who we paid that to.
Yeah, that'd probably be the easiest thing to do is
I
pull it
think
in.
I've got her card.
I think that'd be a good candidate for the ceiling that,
The concrete,
porch.
the porch, yeah.
Okay, well, let's, on the north annex entry doors, what motion would you like to make?
Give him permission if he gets the quote, if he doesn't get but one quote, we need to get it done.
Authorize Commissioner Riddle to
That's correct.
get the work done to change out the first set of exterior glass doors on the north annex entry based on his determination of who's the best vendor for that job based on their proposal and price. Okay, got a motion.
I'll second it.
Second by Commissioner Parker to get that work done. All in favor, say aye.
Yeah.
Okay, and then Hefner starts hopefully soon when the rain is finished. And then last item, flagpole, any ideas on that?
I haven't done anything with it. Tried to find out when it was done, who did it, and nobody seems to know. Christie don't even know. You think it was Prefer?
They were putting up,
And Christie knows everything.
they were putting up flagpoles, now they may have subcontracted out, but I know they were selling flagpoles and putting them up. It may have been another company.
You might ask Steve Austin, he might know.
I think maybe we have. I think David, I think he has asked him, he didn't know.
And he didn't know?
No, I could be wrong, but I believe David's talked to him about it.
Okay. All right, any other action we need on these?
No, somebody knows something about this flagpole, got any ideas, suggestions? I'd like to hear them, because I'm at a loss. You know, they got a place, what's that place in Paris where it leans?
Pisa,
Yeah,
I was
so
there.
we got it. Got
Well,
one here.
I bet you Steve could come up with somebody if you pulled him in on that decision. Steve Austin would probably know somebody that would be in that line of work. Be worth asking him. All right, we'll move along then. We've got 3 items here that relate to Joan Newman and the clerk's office. Item number 6 is to have a public hearing for the Titus County Clerk's Office Records Archival Plan for the upcoming year. This is something we do each year, is that right?
Yes.
Okay. So we're going to turn this hearing now over to Joan to preside over the hearing. Is that on? There we go.
This is the same thing that we do each year. This is for fiscal year 2018, which is coming up in the fall. The purpose is to restore historical books, and those are generally and customarily defined as books that are 100 years old. Our projected revenue this year is going to be about $47,000, same as last year, and I would like to spend up to that same amount to to preserve Titus County deed records volumes.
Say that amount one more time.
$47,000. That's approximately what we take in each year. And it is to preserve the Titus County deed records, volumes 35 through 40, which will be 6 books. Basically, they take out all the tape, they take out ink and marks on the paper and restore it. They deacidify it and rebind it to where they are good for probably another 100 years.
6 books
6 books.
for $47,000. For $47,000?
No, that's all a lot more than $1,000.
No, I said for $47,000, that'll get us
I
6.
said up to.
Up
I
to.
just wanted to budget up to that amount.
About what does it cost to
It's
do?
going to cost, for these 6 books, it'll be as per the last time that I had done.
$26,000.
Yeah. Yeah, we are paying $26,000, but that was for electronically indexed, and that was for 27 or 28 volumes. Those were from 24, the books that were preserved in 2014. They were not indexed so that they could go into our electronic, the digital files, and be searched by grantor and grantee. They were just placed in there as historical documents, and you can only search them by knowing the volume and page you were looking for. And this has improved that quite a bit. But these books, to do them, will probably be about $30,000.
So about $30,000 to preserve 6 books, but that'll also include some digital benefits to enable you to search through those books. So physically restore and then digitally index them.
Yes, and to have them placed by another contractor into our county records.
Okay. All right.
How are we coming along on this? How many more books, what's the amount of books we have left to restore?
Well, we haven't started this project yet. That project is complete.
Okay.
We are finishing reviewing the index, but by the end of the year, that will all be
That'll be done.
online. Yes.
Okay, this is a public hearing. You've heard what Joan's proposal is. Is there anyone that would like to ask her any questions or comment on this? All right. We will bring this hearing to a close if there is no other comment. Anything else on that item number 6, Joan? Okay. We will bring the public hearing to a close related to the 2018 plan for archival for clerk's records. Moving on to item number 7, consider and possibly approve an order to adopt a records archival plan that you've just heard described. Motion's made by Commissioner Fields to approve this plan.
Second.
And second is made by Commissioner Parker to approve the plan. All in favor of approving Jones' 2018 archival plan, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? And then last item related to our clerk's office, number 8, consider and possibly approve. Yes, Sue.
I just have one question. Other counties allow you to search records in the clerk's office online, and I don't think we're able to, or at least I haven't been able to find that.
Yeah,
We have to physically come down and search.
If you will go to txcountygovernmentrecords.com, you can create a login and you can search.
Okay.
There. We do have them online. This office is not online because I have decided that it would be good not to have a network connection back there in the public room so that they cannot get to our network. Just the general public could not go into.
So all the records that have back here are online.
Yes,
That
they are
Texas
on,
County is not.
yes, on another server somewhere else, so that it never interferes with the integrity of
So
our
Texas-
county servers. TX, countygovernmentrecords.com.
Okay.
And I'll be happy to, anytime you want to call me, to give you that information.
Is there any way that we can link that to settings on our website if somebody wanted to do that? In other words, how would they know that unless they asked you that question?
Well, that's a good point.
I mean, there would probably be a heading on there related to these records if somebody, like Sue's mentioning, would like to search the records and then they run into, well, I can't get it done, but if it either automatically took them to that website or if it gave them a reference, for, to search digital records, please go to this website. But I bet you they could link you to it.
Yeah, I can talk to David Janice. He's the one who helps me with all of my other web pages and just ask him to place this link from my web page
Okay.
to this online link.
Okay.
TexasCountyGovernmentRecords.com.
Okay.
And then will the
Good.
books that you're archiving also be on that?
As soon as the project is finished.
So for historical data collection, you can go there.
Yes.
Okay. Item number 8, consider and possibly approve a professional services agreement between the county clerk and iDocket.com Ruby service. So this is on here because it is a contractual agreement that needs to be approved. Joan, what can you tell us about this Ruby?
This would put my court records online. Currently, the ones that we've been discussing are the land records. And this would put my court records, the civil as well as the criminal court records, and put them online. It would be at no cost to the county. And that's in the contract, a copy of the contract that I gave each of you. I will still receive the dollar per document that is printed. And they will collect that and they will cut me a check or do an online ACH to deposit it in my account monthly. And then they also are going to sell subscriptions just to view records. A lawyer, for instance, who's looking for something in particular can view the records, and if he wants to print anything in the record, then he can. But they're going to have subscription fees just to kind of look. You won't be able to print. Their software will block. I mean, it comes out as a blur if you try to print something that you haven't paid for. And we will receive 20% of the subscription revenues quarterly.
So they make their money when somebody goes to their website and wants to print a document? Do they make money if somebody just wants to view it? How does that work?
Well, that's the subscription part. If they make their money on subscriptions because there are law firms who are looking for land records for oil rights and all sorts of things like that. So, and landmen that will use the subscription service. The district clerk, she already has all of her court records online like this.
With these people?
Yes,
Same people?
that I adopted. Yes, she's had them before I took office. She's had all of her stuff online.
Who would have access to your criminal and civil records? The general public, or would you have to be a subscriber?
Well, you would have to sign up
Okay.
and subscribe.
Okay.
And you just have to create a login and go through the
You can't just go and pay for, I was just interested in this one item. The general public couldn't go and just pay for, say, 10 pages worth of information without a subscription. So these are going to be for professional users.
Yes. That's my understanding. If I find out anything different, then Also, with their, they provide redaction software, where anything that's printed will remove driver's license. Of course, we seal the records that are confidential in our, such as a medical report or anything like that, that might be in a civil case.
Okay.
But they redact documents, old records. Nowadays, people don't put Social Security and driver's license on our documents. However, in the past, they're going to provide protection against any of that leaking out.
So this is a new service that we're joining up with and making available that we haven't previously done.
No, not the county.
Not the county.
The district clerk has.
Okay. All right. And what is our obligation to them financially? Anything?
No, it's at no cost to the county. And I think it says in here that with 90 days notice, we can back out. Either party can leave the contract.
If somebody else got into this business and approached you with a better deal, you could get out of this one with 90 days notice. Okay.
Am I understanding this is a private company that's wanting this information, and they're going to sell it to?
They're going to.
Through subscription or individual?
They're going to sell it. However, I will receive the full copy fee, which is what I would receive anyway, which is $1 per page. The subscription for them to come in and for someone to log on and look, I will receive 20% of the charges on that quarterly. That would be money that the county would have no investment financially in, that we would be able to receive some revenue from.
Right now, iDocket's really the only game in town, though, is it not?
It's the only one that I know of.
It's the only one I've ever heard of. Okay, well, this is a one-page professional services agreement, and just like she said, it clearly states on here, either party may terminate this agreement without cause with 90 days written notice to the address stated herein.
Make that motion.
Motion's made by Commissioner Fields to enter into the question. Sue?
I just have one more. What is the schedule for this reimbursement? Then is it a quarterly thing?
Yes, on the subscriptions, the 20% subscription for those who just need to go in and review the records, it will be quarterly. But I will receive a check monthly for copies, and it will give me a listing of who all what records.
Because the county will receive 20% of subscription revenues from users indicating Clerks County as their primary county of interest. Payment shall be made quarterly, and along with a check, the clerk will receive a report listing the quarterly subscription revenues. So you'll have a list of who are your subscribers.
Who the subscribers are, yes.
All right. Motion is made by Commissioner Fields.
Second.
Second by Commissioner Applewhite. All in favor of the approval of entering into this professional services agreement with iDocket, say aye.
Aye.
Thank you. Item number 9 is consider and possibly approve the 2018 Titus County Sheriff's and Constable's fees. We do this each year at about this time, and it's up to the county to determine their sheriff's and constable's fees. And I believe I've gotten a response from both constables and sheriff, keep these fees the same for this year. We did make an adjustment, I think, a couple of years ago in several of these, but they feel like we are appropriate at this time. I do need to report this decision back after we make a decision here. So if you will concur with the sheriff's and the constable's feelings, and this, just to kind of give you an idea of what these are. These are subpoenas, summons, writ of attachments, writ of garnishment, writ of sequestration, orders for sale, small claims citation, restraining orders, and these fees vary anywhere from about $25 for a simple citation, subpoenas $85. On the high end, you've got writ of garnishment, writ of attachments at about $150, a writ of execution at $175. So if you're okay with leaving these fees the same, I'd like a motion.
I'd make that motion.
Motion is made by Commissioner Riddle.
Second.
Second by Commissioner Applewhite. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Item number 10 is consider and possibly approve our annual hardware IT support level 2 maintenance agreement with Net Data. This, again, we also do annually. There has not been a change in this fee in several years. There is no change this year. It is $12,000 per year. It's one of these deals where we don't have a whole lot of choice, but we did check to make sure there was no increase in the price, and there is no increase in the price. $12,000 for hardware IT support level 2 maintenance agreement. This was a level of service that we felt like was adequate, as does KBRO. We determined that a few years ago, so this is just to approve another year on this maintenance agreement with Net Data.
I'll make it motion.
All right, motion is made by Commissioner Parker to approve signing this maintenance agreement.
Second.
Second by Commissioner Fields. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Item number 11, consider and possibly approve the purchase of Net Data computer modules for the County Attorney's Office. You'll recall we had this discussion at the last meeting, and County Attorney's Office told us about the need for entering into a new agreement that will give them data access that they have not had before. One of the few departments, including the District Attorney's Office, who has not utilized Net Data. I understand that Chuck Bailey is considering this as well and will probably move forward with that. According to my conversation with him the other day, he feels like he's got the ability to pay for this out of his seizures fund. But this is a relatively expensive deal, a one-time initial cost of $35,300 to get this up and running for the County Attorney's Office, and an annual cost of $9,000 that adds to our current cost of about $140,000 with Net Data. So this will just be an incremental add-on to add this additional department there. So $35,300 one-time upfront cost, annual cost of $9,000.
My understanding that we're one of the few counties that don't have this. And they said it's very, very beneficial, very efficient. And they spend that kind of money, but at the same time, if it makes it, productivity is much better, we need to do it. So I'll make that motion.
Motion's made by Commissioner Fields to approve this decision. I'll second this. All in favor of approving this purchase of the computer modules for the County Attorney's Office, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Thank you. Item number 12. Consider and possibly approve Terry Idelot as temporary Justice of the Peace, Precinct 2. Let me tell you as much as I can tell you about this, if you'll give me a few minutes. I was contacted by Judge Dyke. I guess now it has been just over 2 weeks. It was right after our last regular meeting of the court, and I was one of the first people that she contacted. She had not gone public with this announcement, but she had contacted me to explain to me that she had been diagnosed with cancer, that she was going to be entering into a period of treatment that included chemo and/or radiation, I believe both at this time, and that she would need to take a leave of absence. Judge Dyke had done quite a bit of research before she came to me. She had been in contact with the Justice Court Training Center. This is their main resource for their department, specifically a lady by the name of Thea, T-H-E-A, Whalen, W-H-A-L-E-N. If any of you would like to speak with her, and came to me with a suggestion that included obviously replacing her for a period of time. She was not saying I can do part-time. She's saying I am not going to be able to fulfill my responsibilities in this office for a period of time. I'm not exactly sure what that time is. Could be several months. I just do not know. Last report that I got from her was doctor has told her plan on at least 6 months. The Ms. Whalen, I also had a conversation with her just to follow up on the information that Judge Dyke gave to me, and you've got some options here, and one would of course include having the acting JP replaced with someone with JP experience, perhaps a previous JP, or you could use someone that was not in fact ever in an elected position such as this. It does not require in this particular situation putting someone in there who actually resides in Precinct 2. In this case, Ms. Adelot, who we're discussing specifically as a name, does not live in Precinct 2. So, Judge Dyke has expressed her intention to retire at the end of 2018. At this time, we are not replacing her for the duration of this term. We are making a temporary replacement while she is on medical leave, and her intention is to return to this job. Ms. Adelot would not be suitable for if we were making that replacement because she does not live in Precinct 2. Ms. Adelot has been with Judge Dyke for quite some time, probably is as knowledgeable about that office as anyone, and she did have to think about this, but after Judge Dyke approached her about this, she said that she would be willing to fill in this position, and as is the current plan, she would fill in as the Justice of the Peace, but would not be replaced in her job as one of Judge Dyke's 2 clerks. So, this proposal, and again, this proposal is presented to you today for discussion. If there are other ideas or you wish to go in a different direction, we have complete flexibility to do that. There are 3 personnel in that office, Judge Dyke and her two clerks, Charity and Terry. And so as it stands right now, Terry and Charity would continue to run that office, Terry doing double duty as the JP and as the clerk, and probably Charity getting some additional responsibility laid on her. As for the compensation, it is statutorily defined as to how this is handled, and that is for the replacement to receive the same level of compensation, whether that is on a daily basis, a weekly basis, a monthly basis, whatever, so that it gives complete flexibility as to how long someone is filling in. If she were just gone for a week or a couple of weeks, you would still use the same level of pay. Now, that does not mean that this level of pay is added on top of Terry's existing compensation as a clerk, but it is replaced. So she receives some additional compensation, but certainly not double the compensation. And again, this all came together rather quickly. I did contact Mike Fields and Jimmy Parker. Jimmy was aware of this situation, being friends with their family, and just told them that I was getting ready to swear in Terry the next day, which was 2 weeks ago Friday, so that she would be ready to assume that position and the responsibilities when her on-call week began, which was the following Monday, 3 days later. So Terry was sworn in by me so that she could begin, and she has been carrying out the duties of Justice of the Peace since that time, essentially for the last 2 weeks. Her payroll was adjusted. Now today, we are not here to say, yes, this is the only option that we've got. This is presented as an option that to me makes good sense. It conserves funds. It utilizes someone who is knowledgeable about this position, who cares about this position and wants to see the job done right in the absence of her boss, to whom she is faithful to. If you have other ideas, we can certainly discuss those at this time, but this is the plan that was put into place 2 weeks ago. And in the next item, we'll approve, if you so choose, this payroll adjustment, again, which has already gone into place. So one at a time, I'm just going to throw this out for discussion rather than asking for an immediate decision from you, and that is to consider and possibly approve Terry Adelot as temporary Justice of the Peace, Precinct 2, while Judge Dyke is on medical leave. Or if you have another course of action, we can discuss and vote on that.
I've known Terry for a long time. She's very capable of taking care of this office. My understanding, she has no intention of running for that office, but I think she's the best qualified person to go in there, and things go along. I hope everything goes really well with Paula, but you know, she may be back quicker, but I think we need to anticipate at least 6 months, and I certainly don't have a problem with it. Make it into a motion.
Anyone in the audience want to have any further discussion or have any questions here? It's my understanding that there have been questions about this. I have not received any phone calls about this particular decision, but you know, without the details I'm providing you today, I think that there was certainly reason to question this decision. So we're certainly here to listen to any input that you might have, any questions that you might have. Commissioners, anyone?
And Judge, if you want something from us, I mean, as far as our sheriff's office, I think it would be the best thing to put Terry in. Simple fact that she has to make sure she knows it's going to make it easier on us. Actually do that because
Thank you. Now, if at any point in here, if Judge Dyke comes to us and says, you know what, it's time for me to retire, I'm not going to be able to return to work, I have no reason to believe that's going to be the case, and certainly she has certainly not expressed that. That is not her wishes. We'll have some different decisions to make at that time. For now, we're simply going under the scenario that this is a temporary leave and that Judge Dyke will return as soon as she is able to. Okay, Commissioner Fields has made a motion. I don't want to rush this if anybody wants to discuss this.
I'll second it.
Okay, second by Commissioner Riddle. All in favor of this item number 12, and that is to approve Terry and ratify this decision to put her in the role of Justice of the Peace, Precinct 2, where she has been for the last 2 weeks while Judge Dyke is on leave. All in favor, say aye. Aye. Opposed. The second part of this is to consider and possibly approve a statutory payroll adjustment for Judge Idelot during Judge Dyke's absence. And I've explained to you that she basically goes to a payroll package that mirrors Judge Dyke's during this period of time, replacing her pay package as a clerk, not doubling of each of those two departments.
Make that motion.
Motion's made by Commissioner Fields,
Second.
second by Commissioner Parker. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Item number 14 is consider and possibly approve our travel and seminars. I've got, I think, 3 of these requests here. The first is from our property assessment and tax collection. This is a request to send Deputy Clerk Leanne Oglesby to a seminar in Lufkin called just General Property Assessment and Tax Collection. This is in Lufkin in September, the 18th, 19th, 20th, and 21st. She will leave on the 17th and return on the 21st. Her per diem during that period of time would be $180. Hotel costs $411. Take a personal vehicle, about 322 miles round trip, yielding a total cost of $847. And this has been approved by Judy Cook. The next request is from John Mark Coburn, our county attorney, to send Esther, his legal assistance, to annual criminal and civil law update in San Antonio. This will be 2 days in September, the 20th, and 3 days, 20, 21, 22. She'll travel on the 19th, return on the 22nd. Cost of registration, $175. Per diem, $140. Hotel, $424. Travel costs, $563. So you've got registration, meals, hotel, and mileage. And John Mark Coburn has signed off on that. John Mark himself is requesting to go to Child Protection Legislative Update. This is it's an online course. We like those. Cost of registration, $120 is the only cost related to that. That's an online course, $120. Last request is from the sheriff. This is a request to send Chance Banks and Ginger Brown. There are dispatchers to Texas Law Enforcement Telecommunications System Basic Operator Course, University of Texas Health Science Center Northeast in Tyler. This is mandatory training. In fact, starting tomorrow, August 15, 16, and 17, they'll travel 3 separate days without overnight stays. They'll have partial per diem for meals and taking a county vehicle back and forth to the UT Health Science Center there in Tyler. Those are the only requests that I have.
Make a motion, we approve travel.
Motion's made by Commissioner Parker to approve these.
Second.
Second by Commissioner Applewhite. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Item 15 is approve oral and written reports of county officials.
Thanks, sir. Make a motion, we approve the oral and written reports.
Okay, thank you. Commissioner Parker makes the motion for approval. Second is made by Commissioner Fields. All in favor of approval, say aye. Aye. Item 16 is our treasurer's report.
Make a motion.
Motion is made by Commissioner Fields to approve the treasurer's report.
Second.
Second by Commissioner Applewhite. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Item 17 is approved budget amendments, if any. Not any today. Item 18, signed pay orders and approved payments.
Motion to pay your bills.
Motion is made by Commissioner Applewhite.
Second.
Second by Commissioner Parker. All in favor of approval to pay these bills, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? All right, last two items, we'll have a report from our road engineer, and then we'll go into an executive session, assuming we still want to do that. But item number 19, we'll turn it over to Roger Ledbetter. Welcome, Roger. That 15 feet is a little less than might normally be done. Is that what you're saying? Okay.
Yeah, normally we mow forward.
Which is what?
Well, some places it's not 15 feet, other places it's 50, 60 feet across the line. But most of the 15 foot gets most county roads. We don't have 15 foot beds planted to the trees on most of our county. So that gets most of our county roads full with, some of them. You're probably gonna get some comments about the line areas, there's a Johnson grass out there, probably 5 or 6 foot tall right now, or last long. But we're still just going 10 or 15 foot, we'll come back this fall with full with. But with all the places getting on intersections, we had to do something about that. We plan on completing our base failure work out on 30 3325, 3340, 3337, and 3335. We still need to go out there and rework a little bit with that and get a couple of cold days. The weather hasn't been too helpful in that situation. We've got to get it covered up. We have started we got our herbicide program running. We actually have started spraying a few roads with it. Won't be able to see it probably for another 2 or 3 days. But we're probably going to come back behind where we're side cut, especially around these intersections, and start herbicide intersections. That way, we at least, hopefully we can cut back on the amount of side cut we have to do in the future when we get herbicide program. So we're way behind on side cut. We've got stuff that's drawn out there 6 foot or better. And everything we cut this spring already it's out about 2 foot and what we're there. So we get a good herbicide program going, we start knocking that stuff back. Now, I don't know if you're going to get any complaints on herbicide. We got complaints at the state on herbicide. So you may get a few complaints. A lot of people don't like seeing, a bunch of leaves turning brown.
Well, what have we used in the past? Not the same thing?
Not to this extent. I don't think they're spraying very much of what I'm talking about.
Complaint now.
I've always used herbicide, especially on your bridges. Use your brush cutter and stuff, but herbicide's the way to go.
What information can you give me or Carolyn in case somebody does call? What would be a typical complaint? I don't like my grass turning brown or my trees or
Yeah,
what?
I think there might be some spots where we actually get out in the pasture a little bit. We're trying not to, okay? But we've got it rigged up, we've got the in-cab controls in the pickup, and all we gotta do is put the switch and turn it on and off.
Okay.
So we're spraying probably 15 foot high.
You're spraying from a 15-foot high.
15 foot
Boom.
high down.
Okay.
Yes. We got a nozzle to do that.
And ideally, you're trying to spray what you just finished mowing?
Well, we spray some other places too that, trying to knock them back too. Because with 4 side cutters, you cannot cut enough to keep up with the right there. Did y'all ever cut enough in the past to keep up?
Pretty much had to have somebody on it all the time to do it. I mean, my first year, we went in and covered most of our roads, but it was probably a 8 or 9 month deal where somebody was running every day just about it, as long as the machine was working.
And if we can get an effective herbicide program, it's going to be cheaper to herbicide than it is side cut. A lot easier to flip that switch and spray it than it is to keep up with the equipment. Our side cutters, gosh, it seems like once a month, one of our side cutters is going to go down. We got to work. Some of them are getting the heads on, they're hitting it pretty bad shape. We've had work on the head on 3 or 4 here recently.
Yeah, we had to do a bunch of work on ours last year that the swing on it had gotten so loose and all till it was swinging. If the operator wanted to stop here, he had to hit it back here because it was going to swing on that much further. And we had to go in and rebuild the plates and all on that, so.
We had one cutting head mess up the other day. Terry was able to fix it, we put it back on. It needs to be replaced. We're going to replace it this winter. Hopefully it'll last a couple more months. I think if we get an effective herbicide program going, I think we can make a difference on the amount of brush and stuff that ever growing around.
Is this a total kill herbicide? What is this? Just something designed to keep the stuff that grows
Right now, what
tall
we're using
down?
is what we had, which is basically Roundup. It pretty much kills everything. I'd like to be able to do a broadleaf herbicide, where we just kill the brush and not kill the grass.
What about wildfire?
With the Roundup that kills wildfires, too.
Did Did you say wildflowers or wildfire?
Wildflowers.
Wildflowers. It said wildfire.
You'll wait after your blooms seeds out and come back up next year with wildflowers. We always try to do our spraying in last part of June, July, August.
Yeah, there's some stuff out there you can actually spray right before we're not blowing that way. You want to check on that, see what it costs. Like the cost is pretty high.
It's high.
Threw up some maps here as far as highlighter, what roads are looking at working on. I'd like for y'all to look at these. If you would, could you prioritize which roads you want to work on in the precinct? And if you want to add some, move them up priority, go ahead and do that too.
You get right there by my house.
So if y'all would look at those, mark them up, and give them back to me.
What have you marked in yellow?
That's the roads that I talked to the commissioners about, and that's the ones I thought that they wanted to do as far as priority roads. But I just want to make sure. There's probably more roads on here than we could actually work on and get finished in a year. In fact, I'm pretty sure we can't get all these done the remainder of this year.
And up there in the top right corner are the roads you're working on right now?
Yes. Yeah, these, and I'm just working on base barrier. Wasn't redoing the whole road, I was just getting the worst base barrier. On that section.
Where's the right-hand corner?
Now, 3350 is the one that was voted the worst county road in Titus County. I don't know if y'all want to make it one of the top priorities or.
So here's y'all's opportunity. If you see something on here that you don't think should be prioritized by Roger, this is your opportunity to say, tell him different. If not right now, within the days ahead.
Roger, if we just take a different color highlighter,
That'd be fine.
be okay? Okay.
Then you might put which one you want done first, second, and third.
Okay.
Because I think there's around, what was it, about 38 miles? Yes, 38. Yeah, there's 38 miles highlighted right there.
Highlighted, okay.
You see, we'll do another one besides one of these. You know, mark one of these out.
The numbers of roads you're going to work with. Did you say in the right-hand corner, was it, had the list of the roads you wanted to look at?
Up here's where he's working on. There's that 3357 that he said was the worst. And then these other, some of
Oh,
these
I
other.
thought there was a place he prioritized. Precinct 2, they spent that $190,000 and they got more roads to work on than I do in Precinct 1. That ain't right.
Well, y'all can decide that. Y'all can work on anything.
Well, it was decided we decided that Precinct 2 already spent that to, I want my $200,000 and then we'll go back to him.
You know what he's talking about?
Yes.
Carl said that too.
Y'all just tell me, if y'all want me to touch precinct 2, touch precinct 2.
Precinct 1's been doing a good job. They only got 2 roads to work on.
Who is that?
Oh, yeah, and that's one of, that's TXU. They ought to be paid to fix that road. They built that road back, and it looks like a waves on the Galveston Beach.
Which one?
1200, that little vacant spot right in there, that's all coal mine, where they actually mined, and they went back in there and built it. And I'm gonna keep talking to them about it. They should fix that road. It's still sinking, but somebody said it would be sinking 10 years from now also.
I'd be thinking longer than that.
Longer than that.
But the problem is,
67
the road
still
bed
sinking.
is lower in spots than the ditches. So the water, you can't keep the water off the road. It needs to be raised up or something to make room for that sinking. They should have the, huh?
Texas Utilities, when they had to buy us some additional flex base. And we did. So they furnished us additional flex base to do rework 67.
Which one? 67?
You're suggesting that as
was a
maybe
mistake. Well,
I
that's
think that's an option.
what we
Never hurts
need.
to ask.
We need to do that with that 1200. Something, get it higher so that as it sinks, we can at least make it level, but I mean, we can at least have the water run off of it if it was high enough. I don't know, I'm not an engineer, I'm talking as a driver. I mean, so it gets wavy, but if it's high, we'll still be able to have ditches and we can level off the wavy like 67. Water will run off of it. The problem is water won't run off of it. Now, there's no ditches. Ditches
Places
are,
out on 67.
really? Well, we need to raise it high enough we can get ready for sinking if it's going to continue to go on.
Have you ever made any requests of them to help on that?
No, just when we met, they wanted to start talking about giving us the roads and stuff a couple of times. I've talked to them about it.
Well, you could certainly start with Brad Watson, their, PR guy that we've been dealing with on the park, and just, he could put you in touch with the right person if
Well, I've got
we
the
feel
number.
like it's a legitimate request.
The only name I have is Dale McCabe or something.
Yeah,
So,
Dell.
it's the only name that I've got a number to talk to about it, but I really would like to.
In 1140, same one.
1140. Oh, yeah. But there's nothing on that road. Oh, well, I'm sorry. That's Fields. That's Precinct 2's road. See, 1220. Where 1220 runs off 1200. When you get down to the 1222 and 1224 are Precinct 1, but that's the dividing line. Where 1140 comes back across there. It's probably the same way. I've talked.
It's not as bad as well.
Huh?
It's not as bad as well.
12, and it doesn't have the traffic. That 1200's got a lot of traffic on it, lots of traffic.
But if y'all would, look at these maps, give me an idea of what our priorities are.
Wine. I'm getting
Thank you. This
short
is a good
there.
way to visualize it.
Thank you, Roger.
Got any other questions?
I appreciate you addressing the mowing concerns. That's the only thing that anybody's mentioned to me.
I was on to the state, and the money that Jimmy didn't use, the logging company came and paid for that. But we do have to use that for disaster projects. And I received an email asking if we have a project that we can use that money for that's related to FEMA. Do y'all have anything that we would put that 10,000 for?
Can't you use that for that, where the new culvert washed out down there? Could you use some for that?
I don't know, it's something that had to look at.
Did they say we had to look, I mean, it's something that,
You just said it had to be, disaster, something to where it could be just any, it had to go the same line as the other projects. If we had one that was related to the floods or damage or anything.
with the headwall that we.
The 8,000,
Yeah.
we could probably, that's what I was questioning, and I could use that for.
That's right, yeah. It was more than what they allowed, so we were just gonna take it out of our.
Somewhere around 10, isn't it?
And then just get with me and with information, I can email it back to you.
But that'd be a good place to spend it. I mean, it was part of it, it just.
Okay.
Well, they overran what they allowed us, and instead of going back to something that was going to fail again, we upgraded it to something that wouldn't, and we just.
Anything else?
This is good. This helps.
And those roads that are listed are just what the commissioners have come to us with so far. And we can put them on there, just an average of those miles, and just kind of see where we're at and what we're going to have to deal with.
Are you working on anything that wasn't brought to you as a priority by commissioners? Roger, I know this isn't y'all's road, but you may have knowledge of this. I've had a couple of calls in the last 2 weeks. Green Hill Road, where they stripped off that top surface of Green Hill Road, do you know what TxDOT plans to do about resurfacing that, if any?
I don't know anything about it.
Okay.
They are resurfacing this, as they're going along, they're putting coal mix on it. They'll strip it off, and then they'll put they started at the White Oak Creek coming this way. They're down to about, remember 1400, that's the road they cut across over to 71.
So they started north and they're working south?
Right, and they,
Okay.
but they clean it off, they go about 3 or 4 miles, and they come back and redo it. A lot of people don't like the way they redo it. It's coal mix they put on it. It's not as smooth as,
Well, these are folks that live in the country club, so from the country club down, that very last part has been stripped for
yeah.
probably 8 months, and, nothing's been put back on there. Oh, yeah.
What they're going to do is, once they get it all leveled up, they're going to get seal coat this year or next year. So they'll get a new seal coat surface on it.
I've just never seen them leave it in that shape that long. It's wavy. Unless you've got a good set of tires, you can be chattering all over that thing.
I just assumed they were coming on down a little at a time. They're about.
Maybe they are. I'll call Bill and ask him. I haven't talked to him about it. Okay, is there anything else? Comments, questions for Roger? Philip? It's your chance. All right, thank you very much. We have, because you asked me to do this 3 weeks ago, we have slotted here for executive session, if there's still a desire to do that, and I think there probably is. Why don't we take a break and we'll reconvene here in executive session, see if there's anything that is still unanswered or that you would like to discuss related to personnel matters. And then we'll come back, and I wouldn't anticipate that being a lengthy executive session. And I don't think that there will be any action items there. And we could do our closing comments now and finish up there, but those of you that want to stick around and see this meeting come to an end, we can do that. Why don't we cover closing comments right now, if there are any? We'll take about a 3-minute break and we'll reconvene in executive session. I had 2 items here in my closing comments. What was the name of the tire recycling company that we were going to use, and what is the status there? Do we need to initiate a call? Do you know the name of that company, Al, that we had talked about? Anybody know the name of that company?
He called them, and they're supposed to get back with him, and they hadn't got back with him yet, because the sheriff needs a substantial time to get everything with his, with the trustees and stuff to go out to help them load them. So
Okay.
I've talked, I told Terry last week to get, to find out and get that name and call them, and keep calling, or I'll call them.
Okay, because I was given a name of another company, Liberty Tire Recycling. That's not the name.
Liberty, they're in Dallas. That woman, I've left calls for them. I'm talking about a long time ago, 3 or 4 different times.
That Liberty.
Liberty in
Didn't
Dallas.
give you the
And
time
they
of
wouldn't
day.
do it. That was the one, I don't know whether, I even said this last time, but they're the ones that Gilmer uses for their springtime cleanup. And Liberty gives them a trailer, and they throw all the tires on it and take it at the same time and to get it through the grant. And I talked to the guy at Adcock about that too, and he gave me the number of, I have that wrote down, the tire company, but it was the same one in Paris that he recommended, and it's the same one that Terry's got the number, and we've called before.
Is the one in Paris the one that we agreed upon a couple of meetings ago that we would use?
Yes, and he has a number, and
Used last year?
right, yeah.
Yeah.
We got that.
He did it last year, right.
It's the same one we used.
Well, we've got it, I
Terry
mean,
have that?
Terry's got it wrote down, I've got it wrote down in my office, the name and number, but that's the one that Dana's talking about, Terry's call right now, the same one.
Okay, so there's a reason why they haven't come to pick them up
Right.
yet. All right.
But we was gonna give I told them they would need to get ample time that the sheriff can get all his ducks in a row, and that will help us load them up and
Well,
everything.
why don't you call them and see what their schedule is? Heck, they may be a month out.
Okay.
I mean, if they say, oh, yeah, we can come any day, then get with the sheriff and he can mobilize forces. But if not, let's get a week or a couple of days booked
Okay.
when they are available to come out here.
All we need, you just give us 3 or 4 days notice. That'd be good with us.
Okay. Second item I had, I'm going to meet today after lunch with Steve Capps and Tony Melton. We have received a quote from TAC regarding their insurance, their health insurance. They've been working on this for several months after we first met with them. And so I have received their quote, and this would be a major conversion away from our self-funded plan to a traditional pool insurance, much like a Blue Cross policy, where you would have a fixed premium based on an individual plus spouse and children, or individual plus children only. And I'm going to meet with them after lunch just to go over a brief review, and then at that time we'll decide if we feel like it's worth bringing to the commissioners. It's time for us to have a meeting with, I keep wanting to say Caps, Higginbotham Insurance, our consultants, to get an update on how we're doing with our health insurance. But this year we'll have something to look at here, and that would be a decision as to whether or not to leave our self-funded plan in lieu of going to a traditional insurance plan through TAC. So I'll find out some more about that today. Any other closing comments before we take a brief break and go into executive session? Yes, sir.
Greg, we're getting to get the blood coverage for our vest, do these guys?
That's going to go on next agenda.
Yeah, we just got that
on
Friday. All right. You guys have anything?
I don't have anything.
Okay.
No.
All right, let's take a quick break for 3 minutes. We will reconvene in executive session at about 10:38.